What you see here are blanketeers. Students at Worcester Preparatory School in Berlin, notice the blanket they're holding. They crafted these beautiful blankets that were donated to Project Linus. As a matter of fact, I got the blanket right here. You noticed Project Linus and blankets, you get the connection.
Get the connection.
Right.
This is a program that's filling a real need here on Delmarva, and here to tell us all about it is Donna Clark, who is the coordinator of Project Linus of Lower Delmarva. Thank you for bringing in all these blankets. We sure are comfy here.
Well, that's the whole point of a blanket, is to get comfy and cozy.
And they're beautiful
and
too.
relieve some stress in your life.
Yeah.
These are gorgeous.
Yeah.
They are. There's an awful lot of love that goes into every one of them that the ladies, mostly ladies, sometimes kids make.
So tell us about Project Linus.
Well, Project Linus is a national organization. We have over 300 chapters across the country. Every state has at least one. And we serve each chapter serves a specific chosen geographic area. My chapter covers from Nassawadox, basically, or the Bay Bridge Tunnel, up to Cambridge.
Wow. And you guys have been around for what, 20 years?
The national organization for 25, and my local chapter 20.
Oh my goodness.
We're celebrating 20 years this year.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
So I'm guessing, I think it's a pretty safe guess, that you're doing this, there's a pretty big need for this.
there's always a need, and it's not limited to socioeconomic. It's any kid who has a crisis, broken arm, foster care situation.
So it's not just for warmth.
No, it's for comfort.
For comfort, yeah. So when you give a blanket to somebody who needs it, tell us about the reaction.
Most of the time, most of the blankets I give go to hospitals, foster care. Worcester County sheriffs have them in their cars now. And the people who get to give the blanket physically to a child get an awful lot out of it.
Yeah. Oh my.
So we get feedback that way that the nurses and the child life coordinators and police officers just really get a big kick out of giving the blanket to the child.
They see the business.
They see the child's reaction and the smiles and I rarely get to give them personally.
This looks like a really big project. Do you need blanketeers?
Yes, I do.
So what kind of, how do you qualify to be a blanketeer? I mean, I don't know how to make a blanket.
I occasionally have sewing days in Pocomoke, but like you said, the Worcester Prep kids, they had some guidance and someone leading their class. I never have met the kids, but they made those. They obviously cut the fringe. They cut.
I happen to know these are really easy blankets to make. You cut
that
the
type is very easy.
And you knot them.
That has a different kind of a knot that those kids learn to make, where they're looping it through a hole in the fringe.
Yeah.
And it's not even tying a knot. It's a loop that makes a very attractive edge.
It does.
Yeah,
it really does.
And then some of these, I mean, looking at this one here, this is amazing work here, quilting work.
That's pretty much a professional quilter that did that one.
So if you have
So I have all levels of experience.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have people who crochet, and then there's people who crochet the edges on fleece.
Oh, yeah.
There's a little handy gadget that looks like a pizza wheel with holes in it, and you punch the holes with the rotary cutter, and they crochet around the edge.
Okay, so if someone needs a blanket, who do they get a hold of to say, I need help?
Most of the time we're working through agencies that work with the kids, that see kids directly. Social workers in our local counties have them in foster care, and they make sure that the foster kids get a blanket.
Good.
The nurses give them out at the local hospitals. AI DuPont, it's the child life coordinators. And like I said, police officers, and sometimes CASA, the court appointed special advocates.
Right.
Yeah.
They give them out. So most of the time we are giving them through agency contacts.
These are spectacular.
They are. Donna, thank you so much for doing this, and thank you for being with us this afternoon.
Thank you.
Donna Clark with Project Linus of Lower Delmarva.
Lisa, I just want to say I woof you.
I wolf you too.
Okay.